Okay, great. Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining. This is being recorded in case you missed a section, etc. I love this program. So I met Tony Small, I don't know how many years ago, and we used his services and it was fabulous. And Tony is the CEO of Neighborhood Network, and his program is just one, stop shop, and it keeps evolving. So there's some things that you will experience as almost as a consumer because the brokerage has their services. So I'll be asking for reviews. So you'll see it, and it's a really cool format that you get it. And it's so simple for you to get reviews. And we chose for Google reviews and Facebook. So everybody who's on the call, I will make sure that you get that so you can kind of see the other side of experience as a consumer. So Tony, I don't want to take too much time away from your presentation. I absolutely love it. Oh, and by the way, guys, what I really enjoy about this is that it ranks you on the internet. So we get graded. So if I compare myself with a competitor, I can say, okay, maybe I'm a B plus and my competitor's a C or something. And it's kind of interesting to see where I need to fix my profile on the internet. So we really, really enjoyed Tony's services. And I know Mike Daga, he did the presentation for the individuals a few weeks back, and he's also had great experience with Tony's services. So Tony, if you can start the presentation.
Okay, thanks very much. And thanks everybody for coming along here. And I'll just try and get to the right screen here. Assume you can see that. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to go through just a 15 to 20 minute sort of walkthrough of the platform at a very high level. It's a Canadian-built solution. And it's really designed to help you manage a number of the online things that you need to deal with from one platform. And I'm going to use a different industry. I'm going to use a restaurant here, so I'm not, getting into competitive issues here or anything else like that. So, but the issues really apply to most local businesses today, but certainly the real estate and the restaurant business are really, two of those that fall straight in the middle of the functionality of the platform. So, how does it help, and what does it help you deal with? So, I'm just going to flip here to another screen. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so what you see here are actually 5 boxes. We're really helping you with 3 main areas: the listings management. And before I say any more, it's not housing listings. This is an online terminology about your business listings. Are you listed in the right place? Can people find you online? The social marketing or social media, you can manage all your social media from the platform. And then the reputation management, which is all about reviews. As Melissa mentioned, there's an inbuilt system, email-based system where you can actually send out to your clients to actually ask them for reviews. And this helps you also manage all the reviews that people put on the business. And I'll go through that in a little detail. The advertising intelligence box that you see here, if you're doing Google AdWords or Facebook advertising, you can link those campaigns in here so you can monitor how those are doing from the one place. So really giving you a dashboard to sort of in one stop sort of manage a whole bunch of different things that you need to do online. So let me dive into, and show you each one of these at a very high level. So I'm going to use the reputation module actually to show you the listings piece first. So as I said, listings are really all about business listings. So what it does is takes your business information, your location information, and actually goes and looks at 25 different places out there on the internet and comes back and tells us, yes, we found it and it was accurate, or we couldn't find it, or we found it and maybe there was some potential errors in it. And if you click on one with the potential errors, it actually highlights, where things are inconsistent, et cetera, et cetera. And, nobody looks great up front. These folks also need some work to be done here. Nobody goes out and creates those 25 listings or lists or sites of the data. But what happens is people, these sites go and buy the data from somewhere else. And if it's wrong in one place, it's probably wrong in a number of places. So this is something that one should be focusing on over time and repairing those listing sites out on the web.
Tony, I have a quick
you know,
question. Sorry to interrupt. In case somebody has questions, how would you prefer it? On the chat while you're presenting, or at the end of the presentation? How would you prefer it?
I'll stop at the end of this each module, and
Okay,
maybe we can just do it that way.
Okay, that sounds great. Thanks, Tony.
Okay, so when we look at the listing, people say, well, my Google listing is accurate. That's really all I care about. The problem is Google cares about these other sites, because Google has only one way to validate what it's got, and it goes and looks at all these other sites like the platform does, and comes back, and the more consistent it finds its information, the more confident it is to push you to the top of the searches. And the other thing is, people are now doing, find me a real estate agent near me, find me a realtor near me. And it's this local data, which is key for you coming up to the top of those searches. So that's why this listing thing is even a thing, and people need to worry about it. We also have an option where you can actually have, I think it's about 20 of them automatically updated for you. And that includes places like Uber, Waze, and a couple of other sites that you can have automatically updated. So that's the listings piece. It's something that a lot of people don't even realize. They don't realize it's important, but it really is. And it's something that overall, the more consistent you are, it sort of also goes to improve that overused word called SEO. All of these different pieces add up. There's not one thing that is, impacts your SEO. It's a whole number of different things, and this is certainly a piece of it. Any questions on the listing side?
Feel free to unmute yourself if you have a question. Maybe I'll warm up the crowd, Tony, just because I'm a user, so I know what questions I had. So I found that you look at your profile, and as you can see in this screen, that there's 18 errors, 2 with question marks or exclamation marks, or 3 are correct. So when you click on it, it actually tells you what's wrong. So maybe instead of a 416, it's a 905, or instead of .com, it's a .ca. And so once you click on there, you're able to fix that really quickly, as you can see. There you go. That one, I guess, is a correct one, Tony, or something. Something is, it finds it, okay, the name. Okay,
yeah, it's just saying the name is inconsistent. Yeah.
Correct. So it'll fix you. So you'll be able where to fix yourself on internet presence. And what I did like about this is that, and I know that Tony's going to talk about Google reviews, but I love talking to my Siri on my phone. So if I say, how Tony said, like, what's the location near me? If I just talked to it and said, what's the top real estate agent in this area, or Mississauga or something, and it ranks. So Apple uses Yelp. So it ranks how you're on Yelp with reviews, and you'll be amazed when you see the list on your iPhone of what they think it's the top realtors in your geographic farm or the area that you're searching. It may just take 1 or 2 reviews for you to be on the top of the list. So I did like how this platform is able to fix me all up. And he called it the listings, which is what we would refer to directories. So the listings are right there and easy to fix. And once it's fixed, you really don't have to worry about it. I'm not sure. I think there's some question maybe in the chat.
I just want to make one point that, fixing it, you can't just change it on the platform here. You actually have to go to those sites.
Correct.
Unless you use that sort of add-on that we have, where we subscribe to a service on your behalf to go and update a bunch of those automatically.
Got it. And then
there was somebody had a question here about the sites with regard to real estate. So the system looks at what industry you're in, and actually will go and add. So it's not going to have OpenTable or Zomato. I think it off the top of my head, it picks House, and there's 1 or 2 others that
maybe
substituted on here.
Okay. Yeah, there's a whole. We just didn't want to choose any of our competitors out of respect, just because we're recording this. So we decided to use a totally different industry.
Right, and it'll actually comes up based on the footprint across North America. It has an industry average, but that industry average is based on your industry, not this particular one. So it'll be a different number in here.
Great question, Kevin. Thanks for that.
Okay, so let me move to the second big piece, which is the reputation management itself, the reviews. So how does the system help? So first of all, it actually goes out there and finds all the reviews that are out there on your business. And at the end of the day, the two main ones, quite frankly, are Google and Facebook. There are obviously others out there, and there are actually a number of them that really aren't that legitimate because people can sort of tweak them and move them. But the ones that are, most valued and legitimate are Google and Facebook. And the system goes and finds them and actually brings them all into the system here. So you don't have to ever go looking to see if somebody's put a review on anymore. The system will find them and actually bring them all into the platform. So you can literally scroll down all your reviews and have them all here. And in the case of Google and Facebook, again, you can actually respond directly from the platform. So again, you don't have to go to Google or Facebook to go and reply to the reviews. It'll actually, we allow you, once you connect your Google My Business listing and your Facebook account to the platform, you can actually do everything from here. And because we're bringing in the reviews to the platform, and I cannot emphasize the reviews enough, because if you look across the real estate industry generally, people are not getting or not asking enough for reviews. And it's really, really critical. And if you start getting more reviews, you're really going to be pushed to the top of the heap, the more reviews you get. Because apart from Google or Facebook liking you, that's where people are going to look online. So as I said, we bring in the reviews into the system here, and because we're bringing them in, we have the data to be able to analyze what people are saying and seeing that consistency across them. So we have two ways of analyzing that. And the one is this thing called a word count. And essentially, the bigger the word, the more often those words are coming up. And green is good. And it'll actually come up with different colors. If I just show you here, if I say, okay, just show me the 1s and 2 reviews, suddenly that word cloud changes. And at the end of the day, what you can do next is actually, click on any of the words, and I'll just go back to here. So just using this as an example, you can click on any of these words in the word cloud. It'll actually show you the reviews where people have used those words. Okay. And then a more detailed way that we have to analyze is this thing called insights, which again, very similar, but it's the keywords that are coming up in those reviews. And if we just, pick one of these, for argument's sake, and then when people are talking about, in this example, service, they're describing the service as excellent, amazing, awesome, et cetera, and then maybe not so great in some cases. And again, if you just click on any one of these, you can see the reviews where people have actually used that description of the service. The other thing that the system does is when you get a new review, it'll actually send you an alert to tell you you've got a new review. And you can actually, on that email that you get from the platform, click on a button and it'll actually bring you in directly here to respond immediately if you want to. Or, as I said, you can actually just, come into the platform every couple of days, see if you've got new reviews. Well, you would have gotten the list anyway. And when you come into the platform, the reviews will have an action required notification here. And then once you respond, it actually changes it to responded. So you can see straight away which ones you haven't actually responded to. Because not only should you be getting as many reviews as you can from your clients, but you should be responding to them all, good and bad, no matter what they are. Because at the end of the day, you want to appreciate the fact that people have spent time actually responding to you or giving you those reviews. I think that's all I wanted to cover on the reviews piece. So really proactive. And as Melissa said, within this platform as well, there's a subsystem here, an email-based system, basically a mini CRM system where you can actually send an email specifically to all of your clients, either in a bulk way or sort of as you actually work with them. And it allows them to actually just click on maybe you select Google and Facebook, just click on the logo within the email and they get taken directly to the right place to go and put that review. Because the other thing that happens is, people go and think that they're putting the review on your particular list, online directory listing and on Google or Facebook, and they end up putting it on somebody else's because they don't really go to the right place. So this really ensures that you get the review when you request it, and you get the full value for that.
And as a user, I just want to add a couple of points, and maybe I'll give a little bit more time for people to, think about certain questions. So what I did enjoy about is that when you need to, actually, by the way, for whatever reason, I would get notifications from Neighborhood Network first when I got a Google review before Google actually, but it's like literally like maybe 30 seconds or who knows, but I just like the fact that it was, I get notified and I can respond right away and don't have to remember like what my Google account is if I'm on the phone or I'm on the fly. So you get a notification from Neighborhood Network and you can reply. So as Tony was saying, you can reply based on the star ratings. So it's an automated, it gives you like a little bit of like a cheat sheet, almost like a template of responses, and you can edit those responses. So if it's a 5-star rating, when you're trying to reply back to the person, you have, an option on how to answer you. So you don't have to really think about what you want to answer. So it's kind of like a little cheat sheet, and it's very helpful, especially for those who maybe have an administrator who's helping out in that way. You can always approve what the responses would be. And then you'd be, okay with that. What I also did enjoy about it is that those are all the different defaults, and you can change them. What I also did enjoy, I've been requesting Google reviews from our own agents, and once I request for the review, there's a little profile there, so I know when it's been sent, if they've opened the email, if they have responded, and I can resend the email, almost like a little nudge of a reminder. I really enjoyed that. And also what I enjoyed is that you can create your template of what goes out for the client. So you guys, again, like as I mentioned, for those who came in late, I will take a look at the roster and I will send you guys almost like a Google review for the company, for the office, for the branch office that you're in, for you to experience what a consumer would experience. It's very nice. I branded it on the top. We edited, the template is amazing, but we just maybe edited it a little bit. We can choose colors for the icon, so you will get it for Google and Facebook. So I really like that. And also those keywords that Tony was mentioning, it's kind of cool for advertising. So you kind of know what your audience is really saying about you. So let me just take a look in the chat. If anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions. It might be easier to explain, in voice versus in text. And I know it's pretty easy, this section. So if anybody has any questions, speak now. If not, we'll go to the next round. Okay.
Thanks, Melissa. Okay, so let me switch to the third main sort of area, how this actually helps, is the social marketing, social media. So you probably all do social media in different ways. You probably got somebody doing it for you maybe, or you doing it yourself. Hundreds of different ways to do that. But this really has, helps people that, either people are doing it already, or if you're not doing it yet, this is really gonna help. So the first thing you would do is come in here and connect your accounts to the platform. And what does that mean? Your Facebook account, your Google My Business listing, your Instagram account, and your Twitter account, and your LinkedIn account if you wanted that as well. So and it's just login and password, and we'll help you, if you don't have these connected or have an issue, we can help you with connecting these things to the platform. So once these are connected, you can actually now start posting from the platform here. And I can either hit this compose button here or this red one in the bottom right-hand corner. Brings up this page, and you can start creating your post. So in here is where we would put in your text, your hashtags, or anything else from a textual standpoint that you put into the platform, into the post. And on the right-hand side, it's actually showing you what it's going to look like on all 4 of those platforms. Okay. And if for whatever reason you said, okay, it's telling you how many Twitter characters you've got left as you're typing here as well. But if you said, okay, we're not going to put this one out for Twitter for some particular reason, you could actually just take it off. And once you put the text in, this is where you'd upload your picture, your photo, your video into this box here. And once you've actually loaded that, again, you'll see what it's going to look like on the right-hand side. And then you hit post now, it's actually going to post to all 4 of these places for you at once. So no need to do one and then the other, etc. But you can post to all 5 of these at the same time, or 4 of these in LinkedIn if you wanted to at the same time. And not only can you do that right now, but you also have the option of scheduling the post as well. So you can do this all ahead of time. If there's a holiday post or you want to do something on a weekly basis, you can actually set this up for, weeks ahead or days ahead, whatever the situation is. You don't have to, concern yourself with doing these all on the day or the day before you want to push out the post. There's no limit to how many you can actually put out there, and there's no limit to how many you can actually, how far ahead you can post either. And if you maybe don't have the pictures yet, or you can just save it as a draft and then go back and actually add the pictures or the graphic. And also, if there's something that you want to push out on a weekly basis, you can create the post and actually create a template out of it down in the bottom left-hand corner here. And then when you come into it again, you just call up your templates, and that's where you would actually have your template. You can change the date and tweak, whatever you wanted to change to that regular post that you want to put out there. Okay. I'm actually going to pause here very quickly to see if there are any questions on this before I move on.
Sure. What I'll say about this section is, you remember how I mentioned at the beginning of the call that, or I guess I should say the presentation, that it's kind of cool how it ranks you almost like grades. And as Tony's going through each section, because you're graded based on all these 4 or 5 sections, that one of them is social media engagement. So I know even for myself, it's like, oh my gosh, it's been X amount of days I haven't posted something, whether it's, something personal, something professional. I like the fact that, again, it's just in one platform. And I know, like Tony said, there's all sorts of different apps that kind of help you schedule these items, but it's just kind of easy just doing it all in here. So it's, if somebody, and it's simple. So if somebody doesn't want to have many platforms and what it is that they're using, this one is a great option.
Right. So okay, so once you start posting, if I go to my posts here and recent posts, this is where you'll be able to see all the posts that you put out. And these folks actually post every day using the platform. Actually, this is from this morning at 9:52, and it went to all 4 platforms from here. Okay. But just one thing I want to mention here, I don't think a lot of people realize or know about the Google posts that are actually on your Google My Business listing. And Google loves people who actually use their posts and actually post to their listing site. So, real impact on the SEO when you actually start using that. And just to show you where that is, for those that don't realize where the Google posts are, I'm actually just going to do this, show you their Google listing. And if I scroll down to the bottom, there are the posts right here, okay? So this is where the posts actually come out at the bottom of your Google My Business listing.
And I have a question, Tony, when you said Google really likes their post, is it you'll get higher ranking?
Correct, correct. Because Google wants people to use their listings. Google wants them to use all the features of their platform. So people that actually post to their Google listing, yes, it actually just another little bump in your SEO by using this and actually posting out there. And as I say, using the platform, there's no more work than just if you were posting this to just Facebook or to all 4 of these platforms right now. So you can see all of the posts that you put out there, and there's a video. And also what you have here is a calendar view of all the posts that have gone out and you've got scheduled. So let me just go back to May so we can actually get a better picture. So as I said, they use it pretty much every day. But they're repeating things. They're using the same post, pretty much every Wednesday, et cetera, et cetera. So they're not creating new things every week, every day. And again, there's no real harm in you doing some of that as well. So, and if you wanted to reuse something that you had before, so you had this post that you put out there a little while ago, you actually might want to go and copy the video or copy the picture again or reuse something that you've done before. You can do that very easily here as well. And also, as I said, you can see the schedule posts and the ones that you put out there. And then finally here under insights, and if I go to post performance, it actually shows you the data is here in terms of how well your posts have done. So again, this is for all the platforms, and it's for the last 30 days, which we can just quickly change to show me the last 90 days. And just show me the Instagram posts, how we've done on those. So everything's here as well from a performance standpoint. And yes, there are other tools that you can use for social, etc. But the beauty of this is that the three pieces are actually under the one platform and one login is the listings or the directory listings, directory information, the reviews, responding to reviews, managing all the reviews, and now managing all the social media as well, all from the one platform, one place. And that's what makes this somewhat unique. And there's not too many platforms out there, actually very, very few anywhere that actually do the same thing and allow you to do the same under the one platform. Now also for people that are in teams, this is also an important factor that we don't limit the number of users. And so we don't have, you can only have one user per platform, or you're going to pay, double if it's more than one or two or three. We don't limit the number of users at all. The cost for this, we charge it, the team is sort of $99 a month for all of it. And as many users as you like. And this is also important when you're having somebody else do some of the postings for you, because you don't have to manage, who has logins to Facebook and Instagram and Google listing and all of that. All you have to do is give somebody who's doing the postings for you or helping you with doing some of this a login to the platform, and they now have access to the different things, not having to, pass on any passwords or getting into that mess, because that also gets messy when people move on and so-and-so had a password and nobody has it. Now, once you've connected things to the platform, you give them a new user, a username and password, and off they go. And if people move on, you just contact us and we, take that user access off and vice versa. So very, very simple to do that. And then finally, just going back to the dashboard or the sort of initial screen that we looked at here. There's summary data here as well, and also reporting that you can do on a monthly or weekly basis. So if I go to the executive report here, it actually shows you, and this is for either a week or a month, and you can actually change this on the fly. So for this particular week, which is the most recent full week, it actually gives you a view of everything that's happened on the listing side. And by the way, we bring in all your Google My Business data to the platform as well, so you can see it all here as well, because once you connect your listing, Google listing to the platform, we bring in all that data here, so you can see it here, so you don't have to go to Google it up, probably never again. And what's happened from a reputational review standpoint for that particular week or month, and the same with what's happened on the social side for that particular week or month as well. Okay. And yeah, that's pretty much, what I wanted to go through today. There are a number of other sort of aspects or lower level sort of detailed things you can do with the platform. But I wanted to sort of stay at the high level here, give you an overview, and give you the option to reach out, and probably via Melissa. Melissa can connect us if you want to have a further chat, or like to get on board. We'd love to have you, and I'll just open it up for questions. Any further questions at this point, Melissa?
Yeah, feel free, everybody, to unmute yourself if you have any questions. I definitely have a few questions. I love that executive report because basically it's my grade on every aspect. So can you go back into the listing section, Tony, please? So the listings, again, is like your directories. So it's actually telling you where you started, and then
Right.
what the industry average is and where you're at. So obviously you have something to look forward, what you need to fix, etc. And then, so I really enjoyed that section. Now, if you scroll down to the next one, let's see, it's your reputation. So obviously this is Google review. Well, I shouldn't say just Google. I call everything Google, just reviews in general. And as you know, like reviews is king. Like everybody searches reviews now more than ever. So this is something that I'm sure a lot of you are really focusing on your business. I know I was talking to somebody who said, sometimes it's just, hard to, ask for reviews on the phone. You can, do a combo. It's so nicely done in this program that I'm really enjoying the usage of it. And then what's the other section for the executive report? Oh, the social, that's right. So it's telling you new posts, engagement, and the reach. And again, like as Tony mentioned, it's kind of nice that it gives you all of all of them in one shot instead of logging into each account and everybody and all the accounts are different. And so yeah, so any questions, team? I know there's administrators here as well. I know it's it's very detailed, but it's the concepts of those 4 or 5 sections are just key. And I know there's more to it once you were to use it.
Right, and the key is really it's all in one login. You can do all of these different things. It's not having one thing to do a piece of it, and something else to do something else. It really does, and as Melissa said, the platform is evolving, on an ongoing, regular basis, and there's new features being added all the time. So
yeah, I'm looking for
not
some
standing still at all.
Some other features are coming up are good that we even haven't tapped onto. So Oliver has a great question. So Tony, can you tell us about the subscription? How that works?
It's $99 a month, and no. We don't ask you to sign a contract or anything else. It's as simple as that. And you can add as many users as possible as you want. So you can have 1, or you can have 4. You can have whoever you want to have access.
That's right. Any other questions? If not, we'll wrap it up. I will send an email with Tony's contact details in order for you to connect with him, and his website as well. And best way to reach Tony, you prefer email? Do you have any preference?
I think so. It's probably best, yes. And then we can, follow up and do a demo for anybody else in your team, or, we'll go through this with anybody else that you want us to, walk us through with. And in terms of getting things connected, it's really simple, but we will help you get connected as well.
Sure. I think Oliver has a question. Ask away, Ollie.
Yes, I just wanted to ask, so you mentioned, so it's $99 per month. So yes. if the team is 20 people, 2 people, whatever, I'm just giving the range. So everybody on the team can use this, or how does that?
Yes, and that's what I meant by we don't limit the number of users. So for the same subscription, you can have 1 or you can have 20.
Okay, I have to ask a question in that. So if it's a team, so there's different structures in teams. So let's just say it's a team, the accounts mostly are just one account, like one team member. And then there's teams or partnerships or groups that they have their individual. So let's clarify that. So Tony, when you say multiple users for one account, but different Facebooks or different Google My Business?
No, what I'm saying, no, okay. So let me clarify. It's everything is it's essentially by location, all right? Like Google, so if you've got more than one Google My Business listing, then it will be two accounts, right? But if it's it's one occurrence of this whole platform, because everything's focused on a particular location.
Got it. Okay. And
So if you've got a team that's in 3 of your offices, then it would be 3, right? If you know what I mean.
okay, does that answer your question, Oliver? Any other further questions? Okay.
But if you're all working off one Google My Business listing and one Facebook account, and that's not an issue at all. But we can work through that detail if you want to reach out, Oliver. We can walk through any sort of nuances or anything that might be complicated there. But no, it shouldn't be difficult to deal with any of those at all.
So you're saying that we can customize a little bit some of what you just explained right now, that maybe groups or teams can customize something with you?
Well, it depends what the structure looks like, right? I mean, there might be, at the end of the day, some people have more, say, 3 Google My Business listings, and so they're essentially in 3 different locations, but maybe they're using the same Facebook account. Then maybe we can tweak that as well. So okay, you wouldn't have to have 3 times the whole platform. You know what I mean?
Correct. Okay. Okay, so that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many different structures. So that's great that you're
absolutely. No, we can make it work.
Okay, great. Everybody's quiet this morning.
Well, one of the things is actually it makes sense, number one, and number two, it's very intuitive to use, and it's really, really easy. So we often don't get a lot of questions because it actually makes sense, and
that's right.
So that's not a huge surprise. But welcome to sort of answer any questions.
Yeah, and feel free to reach
at the end of this.
Yeah, later to Tony. Like, I know I won't get into too much detail, Tony, but I know like I'm very curious regarding how the whole GPS on the car system, and then how they know where you're located just from the GPS in the car. Like, there's so many other features that right now we're just tapping onto the core, which is those 4 or 5 things. And there's other components to this that would be really cool, to add on next level to your internet presence.
Right, and it's and I also will mention something else that it's integrated to the platform, but we also if people are looking at sort of geo fencing sort of advertising type thing, we have a solution in that area, which actually is quite exciting. So, but anyway, I don't want to confuse things. Let's talk about this first.
That's right. Well, thank you so much, Tony. I appreciate your time.
A pleasure.
I get all nerdy when I see this stuff. I'm like, I love all this stuff. So thanks so much for sharing your knowledge. Everybody have an amazing morning. And yeah, you'll be seeing an email from me regarding those lovely reviews for the road brokerage. So take care. All the best.
All right. Thanks very much, everybody. Bye.